that vehicle maybe not blending in, but at one point you saw it making these wide turns. There we go, wrong side of the road once again, passing across that center line. You got more officers in the area now. Glendale PD might not just take this over. They may not. Oh, look at these crazy moves. You just gotta be thankful for that one officer. Two right behind him, LAPD, probably lights and sirens going, at least giving folks heads up on these intersections as he's running stale reds. Now, when they say stale red, meaning the light's been red for a moment or two, meaning other traffic might be coming. Right now, continuing, we're still basically in a southbound direction. This is the general area where this pursuit started. It was started over by the 5 and the 2. That's where we were first getting wind of this going on. So it made its way north up on the 2, onto the 210, La Crescenta area, crazy driving out there. And then now in the Glendale area, whoa, look at that. Whoa. Made a sharp turn right there. LAPD actually also making those moves right behind that vehicle. So they really are trying to warn the public. They want this to come to an end. Possibly they're robbery suspects we don't know if there's weapons in that vehicle, but right now, definitely established in the Glendale area, LAPD handling this pursuit.
Well, we seem to have lost Stu Mundell, but we will get him back in just a moment. You are watching a pursuit happening in the Glendale La Crescenta area, and there you see that white SUV there. Police are in hot pursuit of that car that's been driving extremely dangerously and erratically. Slow speeds on the surface streets right now, but apparently there might be 3 suspects in that car wanted for robbery.
And apparently this started on the 5 and the 2, Stu was telling us. He also did say that this driver was going the wrong way on the 210 at times. We've seen him do erratic moves on these streets in Glendale. Sometimes he passed that. It looked like a person who was walking on the street and he just passed by him really fast.
He's really dangerous.
Very dangerous moves out here, sharp turns, and apparently wanted for some sort of robbery. It'd be interesting to know if this was a robbery at a, Stu, do you know if this was a robbery at a home or a business? Do we know anything more about the robbery?
No, they don't give those types of specifics when they're calling these things out. They were just giving out codes. The code is robbery, but it doesn't say if it's a residential robbery or maybe a store. They don't say anything like that. I can tell you right now, we're southbound Adams from Colorado, picking up a little bit of speed out here. Very residential neighborhood. You can see how close he's coming to other vehicles. Back on the wrong side of the road to avoid another car, basically driving, coming up to another stop sign. And right there, just passing Chevy Chase is what I heard, coming up to Chevy Chase, making the turn on Chevy Chase. But we're basically working our way back into the LAPD area, but he's kind of taking that roundabout way. Don't think he's concerned about what town he's in right now, but right now moving very quickly at some points, but apparently from what we're hearing, according to LAPD, actually more subdued than he was earlier on. We're in the area of the another left-hand turn,
moving into
back into a residential neighborhood out here. So is staying in that neighborhood. Possibly he knows this area. I couldn't even begin to guess. But right now, slowing a little bit. Some folks out there on the road, very residential neighborhood. And we just continue to watch this very dangerous chase. LAPD behind him, on the ground, over him, in the air. And it's still making its way through this area out here. Even Sky 9 doing little pirouettes out here this afternoon, trying to keep up. Back onto Chevy Chase, basically back the way we came. Now we're westbound on Chevy Chase.
Stu, how fast do you think he's going on these residential streets?
I would have to guess about 40, 45 on the residentials. Right now, he's actually speeding up. Wrong side of the road. Higher speeds. You can see him just kind of back and forth. You just go, so close. And look at this is what we were talking about earlier on. These higher speeds, very dangerous situation indeed. You got looks like an LAPD officer. Back to southbound on Brand. I believe we're southbound on Brand from Chevy Chase. Again, this is Glendale. So they do know, and I'm sorry, the street is Glendale, and this is in the city of Glendale. LAPD in pursuit, dangerous suspects, very high speeds. You saw it, that momentary burst right there. Apparently that was going on for a lot longer just before we got here. Right now, you can see this vehicle still moving very fast, very tight roads out here, very narrow streets. Residents, this is a very residential area. And on Glendale, southbound from Chevy Chase, we've been moving pretty quickly. We'll get you another major as soon as he passes it. Hopefully this ends very peacefully. Right now, possibly 3 people inside that vehicle.
Possibly
LAPD
armed
really
too, right?
want this just to come to an. Well, they just said robbery. We haven't heard the armed part yet. But if the desk has more information, southbound San Fernando. So we're actually starting to get back into the LAPD area. That doesn't mean more units are going to get involved, but it might have other officers in the area from the LAPD if this comes to an end. When this comes to an end,
a little bit of a jam up.
Squeezing through there.
Squeezing through. He's going to try to get away, no matter what it takes. He's right now in the center, and he's picked up speed, a lot of speed.
Oh, this is so
not
dangerous.
good.
Not good at all. You can see those other cars just moving right by him out there as we're tracking that vehicle. Center lane, San Fernando Road, going against traffic again right there. And this is the time these streets are whoa. Onto the sidewalk. Thank goodness there was nobody out there. And it's this type of behavior. They want this guy to come to an end. They want this to come to an end. They want this vehicle to stop.
Stu, how close is the LAPD at this point?
Right behind them.
Very
close. You know, right now, lights and sirens. That is a valuable thing. At least it's giving a lot of folks heads up that something might be happening.
Yeah, this guy.
Southbound San Fernando.
This guy's driving so erratically.
Back on the freeway.
Oh, there he goes. How do you stop someone like this? I guess you just chase them until they slow down or decide to make a run for it.
You know what? That is the miracle question. Everybody's always asking it. You can't do it. You obviously can't use a pit maneuver, possibly spike strips, but how do you get in front of the vehicle moving this quickly? So right now, tracking mode was initiated earlier on. And coming back, we're on to the 5 south is what I'm hearing from my pilot, but LAPD talking about the 2 freeway. So we'll keep an eye on it right now. But this vehicle moving very quickly, getting a little pushy out here when there's traffic, and that is just not good. I know there's a tunnel right there. We'll see him pop out right over here, hopefully in areas. And established onto the southbound 5, or will establish. He might be able to take an off-ramp. I think Stadium is coming up over here as well. But this is the general area where it started. So this might be an area that he's familiar with. Look at that. And just getting so close to all these vehicles.
All right. This is Sharon Tay along with Crystal Cruz, and welcome to KCAL 9. This is Sharon Tay along with Crystal Cruz. Welcome to KCAL 9 News at 4 o'clock. We are watching some breaking news happening in Glendale, a pursuit that's in progress. And for our CBS 2 News viewers, we welcome you as well. Yes, indeed. We are following this pursuit. It has been going on for quite some time. It is a very dangerous pursuit of robbery suspects.
And Stu Mandela is overhead for us, and he's been watching this whole thing. And Stu, you were telling us when this first started, this guy was driving so erratic. We've seen him on the wrong side at times of the roads and also on the 210 freeway, you said.
On the 210 freeway, driving against traffic on the 210. He actually made a U-turn on the 210 to correct that. That was over by Pennsylvania. Right now, though, we are basically Elysian Park. We are Elysian Park. I can see the stadium right next to us. I believe we're on Glendale Boulevard. He just got off the southbound 5 freeway. Now, this road right now, wide open.
Yeah.
There's a lot of roads out here in this area wide open. He's been taking advantage of those high speeds, but it isn't going to get him anywhere. You've got the helicopter overhead. You've got the officers on the ground back in the LAPD area right now, so that means other officers are going to probably be, if they are available, they will be nearby. They might not be jumping into that pursuit, but they're going to make themselves conveniently available in the neighborhood if something should happen. Wrong side of the road as he's making that sweeping turn. Go ahead.
Isn't the LAPD Police Academy nearby?
It is close by. Don't know if we're actually going to go by it, but yes, we're definitely very close to Dodger Stadium, and that means we are close to the actual LAPD Academy as well.
And you're right; those streets are wide open because hardly anyone travels those streets.
Yeah, it looks. We're actually on Academy Way right now, and working his way. If you know that parking lot, you know LA. It is getting very close to Dodger Stadium. I was kind of wondering maybe he was going to go through there. Right now, though, staying on the main streets, you can see no other vehicles. That's the first plus out here, and perhaps they will try to do something in this type of wide open area.
Yeah, this would be
these high speeds.
This would be a great place to do a pit maneuver if they can get close to him.
If they can get close to him, and there's nobody else around. Those are the two things. You have to worry about the safety factor. Right now, this is a big sweeping turn. I know it brings us back out onto Sunset if we keep driving this way. So it's going to start getting crowded. I'm getting a little bit wider because you can see other officers that are conveniently in the area. And making that turn right there. Elysian Park, that's where we are. We'll get you some streets as soon as I can securely say where we are. But again, approaching the 110 freeway, not taking it.
No, he's decided
it seems like
to
he's
stay on surface
slowing it down just a little bit.
Did you say Sunset Boulevard? Is that the street he's on?
Well, I thought we were going to pop out on the no, I thought he might pop out on the Sunset. Looks like we're heading our way basically over maybe towards Broadway or Figueroa.
And Stu, have we seen any passenger action?
I've been just trying to keep up with the car. I haven't really been able to spend that time to peek inside the windows.
Well, sometimes
those tinted windows would make it very difficult.
Sometimes during these pursuits, they'll roll down the window and they'll throw stuff out of the car for whatever reason, but I haven't seen any of that. The windows are tinted very dark, and it looks from the, that was very close. It looks from the windshield that they're moving around in the car a lot. Probably scrambling to figure out what to do.
You know, I always wondered what those conversations are inside that vehicle. If they're egging them on, or if they're saying, "Hey, maybe we should slow this down." You know,
would think they'd be telling them to slow down.
Yeah, you'd be hoping that's what was going on.
Definitely.
Right now, though, those tinted windows, officers can't see in there. We can't see in there. We were peeking in that front window earlier on. The report was that possibly 3 people